Hello everyone and welcome back to another supplemental episode here on Thomas & Friends Home Media Reviews. This review is on Track Stars on VHS. So yeah, I did not have a VHS copy of Track Stars to look at back when episode 50 came out. I probably could have gotten one now that I look back on it because there are tons of these on eBay and I really didn't need to do a supplemental. But hey, I'm doing it, and it's also our second supplemental of this Monday. Like I said, this one's coming out at around 3 p.m. I think I mentioned that in the previous HMR that came out at around 7 o'clock this morning. Was that Hooray for Thomas that came out? I think it was Hooray for Thomas that came out today. If it's not, then it was another VHS. So, let's go ahead and take a look at Track Stars on VHS here. It's extremely similar to its DVD counterpart, which was purchased a heck of a lot more than the VHS was. It's just skinnier. It's interesting to see how skinny it really is, because there's a huge difference between the VHS and the DVDs in terms of poster art, and seeing a DVD copy ever since I was a kid, it's kind of weird and surreal to see how skinny this one is compared to that. On the side, there's our teeny tiny cartoon Thomas right there. My camera focused on that. I don't know if it is or not. Come on. There we go. Scroll on the side, Track Stars, hit logo. It's also weird to see how fat that the side is because the DVD side is so skinny. On the back, once again, squished up, looks like a full screen image. Thomas, Percy, Emily, James. Those are our Track Stars. Freaking Emily, why did you get on the Track Stars? Why don't you put Gordon or Henry or Edward or there or something? There's our blurb. Oh, it's on the tape. There's our story stops. Visit Thomas & Friends at thomasandfriends.com. I'm not sure if that website is RIP or not. I don't know. Maybe it is. Slide out a slipcover. Extremely basic logo. Track Stars. But you've also got some tracks printed there. So that is nice. So I think Track Stars on VHS is extremely self-explanatory for when it was released. It was released in 2006 along with its DVD counterpart. Yeah, like I said, not a lot of people bought the VHS, but this VHS was overproduced as crap. I have seen so many copies of this go up on secondary market sites like eBay. It's just ridiculous. I really have no idea why it took me so long to actually get a copy of this. I actually only paid about $4, I think, for this, because this is so common. I mean, there's a guy who's selling a whole heck of a lot of these, and they're sealed, and they're like $6 each, which I probably will get one that's sealed just to have one. But like good Christ, Thomas and Friends or Hit or whoever puts out these VHS tapes, what were you thinking? Nobody buys VHS tapes anymore. But it's actually interesting because this wasn't the only VHS that was put out in 2006. You also had Thomas and the Really Brave Engines came out in 2006. Then you also had Tales from the Tracks, but that VHS is so gosh darn rare, I doubt I'll ever get my hands on it. It's gonna bug me for the rest of my life. And also, just a quick little history lesson here. Which one of these do you think is more rare? After going on a crap spree about how overproduced Track Stars is, I think you could guess. It's actually this. This is more rare than this, because this was overproduced as heck, but this is Classic Series. People should have bought this, right? Well, people bought the DVD version of this. That's why this is so easy to find on DVD. Hardly anybody bought the VHS version. And that's kind of the same thing with Track Stars. Nobody bought the VHS version, they just had a ton of them laying around in their warehouses, so they were like, hey, let's throw them onto eBay and sell them. But this, I guess they just didn't produce as much, because this was a pain in the butt to get my hands on. Anyway, that's enough for the little history lesson, I guess, that I just gave you here. Yeah, Really Brave Engines is rarer than Track Stars, and Track Stars is really not that rare at all. So let's take Really Brave Engines off the screen here, because that's going to get its own supplemental here in the next couple of weeks, if it's not already out by now. So that pretty much wraps up the supplemental on Track Stars on VHS. I want to thank you all for watching, and as always, good night, everybody.